extension for the book. Yeah. How to close the highlighting. Why do you need the extension for? And so we will also need it. So we can just stretch it from behind the glasses. If you can remove it, if it. It's very hard. needs to come here. The extension cord is
Yeah?
yes, there. No.
You change it?
TV here, laptop this thing here, because TV will need the power side. If your thing will go, so you want it. Chalega.
Yes?
Yeah, perfect.
That's not? With power.
No, it's not.
Do you have six? Navami.
Without blocking.
You know?
इधर ही garage में
Okay, चलिए. Where is the Shri mic?
मैं लेके आता हूँ.
Photo है?
Mataji, do we have another one of these tables?
Yeah, we can get the table. It's not a problem. It's in the back. Actually,
I'll do that. I'll sit and I'll begin there.
Don't extend it much.
उसको extend it now.
Can you just quickly do some kirtan for a few minutes while we set up? You can sing without harmonium. Just sing.
Okay. So what is that? Oh, action है. One more folder. We can use that one, right? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, everyone. We welcome you to our Shri Navami Maha Utsava celebrations today. Shri Ram Bhagwan ki Jai. Today is the most auspicious day where many yugas ago Lord Sri Ram appeared in Ayodhya. We are so happy that by the mercy of all of our acharyas, despite of the fact that many yugas and millennia have passed, we're still able to celebrate Ram Navami here in the small place called Round Rock, in the small state called Texas, in the small country of United States of America, in this small planet called the Earth, in this small solar system, and so on and so forth. So thank you so much for joining us at this celebration today. Before we announce more about the special guest, a few logistic announcements. We request you all to come a little forward because this is just amazing because it's only 12 o'clock and the hall is already full. This further stresses the fact on why you can see renovation happening at the back, because we cannot handle this capacity here. So please come forward. In between, we will try not to disturb Haripashad Prabhu's class. So if you see, either myself standing here, raising my hand, ask you to move forward, or Ramajay Prabhu who's in that corner, ask you to move forward, please look for us. Think of us as, the people holding signs at any show and telling people to move forward. So we're just going to do that to not disturb the class. There are more seats here. If anyone needs chair to sit, you can sit right here. This is even more special spot. You're right here, right next to the speaker to obtain special mercy. So this is not like sitting in the front bench of a class. Here you get more mercy. So you can be more than welcome to come and sit here. We're very excited, and first of all, this is our first big festival that we're celebrating here in our smaller temple room. After a long time, we've been doing all our festivals in our bigger hall, but we're very excited to have His Grace Haripashad Prabhu and his family, Vasumati Mataji and son Hari joining us. I was actually going to introduce Haripashad Prabhu, but I think his son is actually more famous than Haripashad Prabhu. Many years ago, there was a viral, and I think that was one of the few first viral videos in ISKCON, if I'm not the first. One of the early videos where there was a child who was crying, and as soon as he heard the holy name of the Lord, he would stop crying. If you have you all seen the video? Has anyone seen the video? Yeah, a lot of people. It's all over WhatsApp. I got every relative of mine under the sun sent it to me on WhatsApp. It was a big deal, and that's Haripashad Prabhu's son many years ago. So we wanted to start by introducing the celebrity here, which is the son, and then we'll glorify the father who's sitting here, which is His Grace Haripashad Prabhu. Anything I can say about Haripashad Prabhu is not sufficient to glorify the scholar he is, the wonderful speaker he is, who he takes us into pastimes from our scriptures in such a beautiful way that you never forget something that Haripashad Prabhu has shared. Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj, and he's based out of Mumbai, and he travels for the last 2 years virtually around the world giving classes, and now Prabhu's here in a trip around the US doing classes. Is this your first overseas trip, Prabhu, since 2020? Yes, so this is our first overseas trip. It's funnily enough in 2020, April, when the pandemic started, the first guest speaker to speak at a festival, which coincidentally was Ram Navami, was Haripashad Prabhu for us at the center. So very excited that 2 years later, which we could not have imagined, 2 years later, Prabhu will be back here on Ram Navami giving us a class in person. Prabhu is a member of ISKCON Shastrik Committee, and he's known for his scholarly classes. He's a Sanskrit scholar as well, and we're very excited to hear from Haripashad Prabhu today. Again, we request everyone to come a little bit closer if you can. And the other thing is, if you have masks, we encourage you to wear them just because of the close proximity that we're going to be sitting with people. So it's highly encouraged and recommended. So please do come a little closer if you can. And then, without further ado, so most people here, if you are either you're visiting Texas or you're from Texas, and we say everything is bigger in Texas. So we're going to loudly say Hare Krishna 3 times, as loud as possible, to give Texas-style welcome to Haripashad Prabhu, because this is his first program in Texas. Prabhu's been to other boring states like California and Oregon and all that, right? So we want to show him, there's a reason why everyone's moving to Texas. So let's give Prabhu a Texas-style welcome by loudly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So my sincere thanks to Mahasundari Mataji for kindly welcoming me, introducing me. So the introduction was incomplete actually, because it was not mentioned that I am a friend of all the devotees here. Without mentioning that I am a friend of all the devotees, how can the introduction be done? But I am very thankful, Mataji, that you kindly introduced me. And thank you, SKS Vaikunteshwar Balaji Prabhu, for kindly welcoming me. My sincere thanks also to His Grace Ram Vijay Prabhu and Lalita Madhavi Mataji and their wonderful children, Gitamrita and Mahabhav Prabhu. So he recently got initiated, and he's one of the really upcoming talents and gems of our International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So dear devotees, here in Austin, Round Rock, we are having a devotee who's studying very nicely, who's doing his Swadhyay very nicely. My sincere thanks also, and we should also applaud Kirti, who did the Kirtan so nicely. Actually, her name is befitting her, because through her voice she is spreading her Kirti everywhere, as well as Gitamrita, who was accompanying her on the instruments. So please let's give a big round of applause. Dear devotees, today we are going to discuss the glories of Sri Ramayan. Today is the 10th of April 2022. I was scheduled to come in 2020, but I lost 2 years, dear devotees. I couldn't see you for 2 years. So let's make up for it. Mataji said everything is large in Texas and everything, we should chant loudly. So dear devotees, today we will be seeing the glories of Sri Ramayan, and we'll be discussing many verses and going on a virtual tour within Sri Ramayan. But I would like all of you to kindly cooperate with me by chanting very loudly whenever the verses are spoken. So if you agree with me, kindly say loudly, Hari Bol. So dear devotees, our Shisht Parampara, our tradition established by the previous Acharyas, is to always begin with Mangalacharan. Mangalachara Yuktanam Nityam Cha Prayatatmanam Japatam Chipvatam Chaiva Vinipatona Vidyate. The Manusmriti says that those who are always performing Mangalacharan, they are always endeavoring in their spiritual life. Whatever activities they perform in their spiritual life, simply because of the Mangalacharan, they never fall down. So we will also perform Mangalacharan. Most of us already know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Kalijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Today's Ram Navami will begin with an auspicious prayer specifically towards Shri Ram. So dear devotees, I will sing. You just hear me and repeat. Ramaya Ramabhadraya
Ramaya Ramabhadraya
Ramachandraya Vedhase
Ramachandraya Vedhase
Raghunathaya Nathaya
Raghunathaya Nathaya
Sitaya Pataye Namaha
Sitaya Pataye Namaha
Ramaya unto Shri Ram, Ramachandraya unto the moon like Ram, Ramaya Ramachandraya Ramabhadraya unto the all auspicious Ram, Vedhase unto the creator of this entire universe, Raghunathaya unto the lord of the Raghu dynasty, Nathaya unto my lord, Sitaya Pataye and unto the husband of Shri Sita Devi, Namaha, I pay my obeisances. Dear devotees, Sri Ramayana is a very glorious scripture, and it is that scripture which glorified Lord Ram for the first time in the history of human civilization. Actually, sometimes it is asked, what is Ramayana? And there is one nice definition of Shri Ramayana. So please hear carefully. Ramayana is Aksharmaya Ram. What is Ramayana? Aksharmaya Ram. Aksharmaya Ram means if Lord Ram were to ever appear in the form of words, then that would be Shri Ramayana. And if Lord Krishna were to appear in the form of words, that would be which literature? Srimad Bhagavatam. So dear devotees, Srimad Bhagavatam is Aksharmaya Krishna and Ramayana is Aksharmaya Ram. And the Srimad Bhagavatam itself glorifies Ramayana and this literature today, because it is this literature which introduced the personality and character of Lord Ram to all of us. It's very important today. Since today is Ram Navami, we should understand what are the glories of Sri Ramayan and we should make some effort to read Ramayana. Many times in India, if you tell people, have you read Bhagavad Gita? So many people say, yeah, I have read Bhagavad Gita. I know what is there in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, what is there in Bhagavad Gita? So they say, in Hindi they will say, कर्म करो और फल की चिंता मत करो. Perform your work and don't worry about the result. So if Krishna had to speak Bhagavad Gita in one verse, then Krishna would have not spoken 700 verses. Krishna would have simply said, कर्म करो फल की चिंता मत करो, work, don't worry for the result. Arjun, this is Bhagavad Gita, now start fighting. That instruction, कर्मणि एव अधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु, is only in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. But total how many chapters do we find in the Bhagavad Gita? 88. So who will read the remaining chapters? How diluted is our understanding of Srimad Bhagavad Gita? Similarly, it is important to also read Ramayana, because we may have seen the television series, we may have heard the story from various sources, but it is also very important to personally read this composition of Sri Valmiki. Valmiki is Adi Kavi, dear devotees. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one Adi Kavi mentioned. Who is the Adi Kavi mentioned? Shri Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. That is, Brahma is Adi Kavi mentioned. So, Shri Brahma is the original Kavi of this entire universe, dear devotees. But Shri Valmiki is the Adi Kavi of this planet Earth. He was the first person in this universe to compose a verse. I hope you are able to understand. The first person to compose a verse in the history of mankind is Adi Kavi Valmiki. So today we will see the glories of Sri Ram, also the glories of Sri Valmiki, also the glories of Sri Ramayana. But here is a verse which glorifies Sri Ramayana, and this verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam. What will we get today by glorifying Ramayana? So this is specified in the beginning. Purusho Ramacharitam Shravanairupadharayan Andrishamsya Parorajan Karmabandhair Vimuchyate. So Purusho, any person, Ramacharitam, if he hears the character of which Lord? Lord Rama. Shravanair, through his ears. Upadharayan, if he holds it within his heart, then what will happen? Anrishamsya Paro, he will become completely free of envy. Rajan, O Maharaj Parikshit, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Karma Bandhair Vimuchyate, and he will become free of all bonds of karma. So today is a good day to become free from all bonds of karma. Because karma bandhan has been troubling us since many lifetimes, and occasions like Sri Ram Navami are ideal for getting free from bonds of karma. Dear devotees, how many of us have heard that Srimad Bhagavatam is like a desire tree? Have we heard Srimad Bhagavatam is like a desire tree? Yes. Sridhar Swami, in his commentary to Srimad Bhagavatam, says something, and please hear carefully. Srimad Bhagavatam Suradaru Starankura Sajjani Skandair Dvadashabhistata Pravilasa Bhaktyala Valodaya Dvatrimshatrisatam Chayasya Vilasat Chaka Sahasranyalam Parnanyashtadasheshtadoti Sulabho Varvarti Sarvopari. Srimad Bhagavatavidha Suratarus. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam is a desire tree. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Desire tree. Tar Ankura. It's Ankura. Ankura means its seed is Tara. What is Tara? Tara is Pranava. What is Pranava? Omkar. Om is the seed of Srimad Bhagavatam. How do we know Om is the seed of Srimad Bhagavatam? Because when the Bhagavatam begins, the first syllable to be recited is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So the seed is placed at the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the seed of Bhagavatam. Sajjanihi, this tree has arisen from the spiritual world. Skandhair Dvadashbis, there are 12 skandhas. What are the 12 skandha? What is the meaning of skandha? Canto. We say canto. That's an English translation. But a tree has skandhas. Have you seen those giant roots going in the soil? Dear devotees, those are the 12 skandhas of Srimad Bhagavatam. Padashabhistatah pravilasat, it is growing. Bhakti alaval odita, it is growing in the soil of bhakti. Which soil is Srimad Bhagavatam growing in? In the soil of bhakti. Dvatrimshat trishatam cha yasya vilasat shakha. Dvatrimshat, 3 plus 32, 35. Plus 300, 35 plus 300 is how much? 335. 335 are the branches of Srimad Bhagavatam. It refers to what? 335 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Parnani Ashtadasheshta Doti Sulabho. And there are 18,000 leaves on this tree, dear devotees. These refer to the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam Sarvopari. This is the greatest tree in Kali Yuga, dear devotees. Similarly, there is a verse also for Sri Ramayana. Would you like to see the verse for Sri Ramayan? Sri Ramayan is also a desire tree, dear devotees. Aksharmay Ram. Please repeat after me. श्रीमद्ब्रह्म तदेव बीजममलं यस्याङ्कुरश्चिन्मया
श्रीमद्ब्रह्म तदेव बीजममलं यस्याङ्कुरश्चिन्मया
काण्डैस्तप्तभिरन्वितोऽति वित्ततो रश्यालवालोदिता रश्यालवालोदिता पत्रैस्तत्त्वसहस्रकैः सुविलसा शाकाशतैः पञ्चभेः पत्रैस्तत्त्वसहस्रकैः सुविलसा शाकाशतैः पञ्चभेः चात्मप्राप्तिफलप्रदो विजयते रामायण स्वस्तरो
चात्मप्राप्तिफलप्रदो विजयते रामायण स्वस्तरो.
So the primary commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam is Sridhar Swami. Similarly, there is one primary commentator on Ramayana too. Do you know what is the name of the primary commentator on Ramayana? His name incidentally also is Ram. So the primary commentator, there he was a human being, basically he was a devotee, but his name was also what? Ram. And his commentary was called Tilak. So he applied a beautiful Tilak on Sri Ramayan. This is the primary commentary on Sri Ramayan. Just as Sridhar Swami in the beginning of his Bhagavatam compares Srimad Bhagavatam to a desire tree. Similarly, in the Tilak commentary, Shri Ram also compares Srimad Bhagavatam to a desire tree. Vijayate, all glories, it is victorious. What is victorious? Ramayana Swastaruhu. Swas means heavenly, Taruhu means tree. There are which trees are present in heaven? Kalpataru, desire trees. So Ramayana is like a desire tree, it is all victorious. Please describe this tree. Srimad Brahma Tadeva Bijam. Actually, the absolute truth is compressed as Bijam, as seed in this Ramayana. Amalam, this Bija, this seed is spotless. Yasyankuras Chinmaya. It is completely spiritual. Kandai Saptabihi. Dear devotees, there are 7 kandas. Just as a tree has various roots going inside the soil, Ramayana has how many roots going in the soil? 7. And these 7 are the 7 kandas of Ramayana. Bal Kand, Ayodhya Kand, Kishkindha Kand, Sundar Kand, Yuddha Kand. All these kandas, 7 kandas, are the 7 roots of this tree growing into the soil. Which soil? Rishi Alaval Oditaha. In the soil of the devotion of the original Rishi. Who is the original Rishi of Ramayana? Sri Valmiki. Patrais Tattva Sahasrakai. It has patrais, leaves. How many leaves does it have? Tattva. Tattva refers to a number. According to Sankhya philosophy, how many tattvas are there in this entire material creation? Does anybody know? According to Sankhya philosophy, how many patras are there? How many tattvas are there? 24. So, tattva here refers to 24. 24,000 are its leaves. Because how many verses are present in Sri Ramayana? 24,000. Suvilasa Chaka Shatai Panchavihi. And there are 500 branches which refer to the 500 chapters of Sri Ramayana. Chatma Prapti Phala Prado. What is the fruit which is growing on this tree of Sri Ramayana? The fruit is Atma Prapti, self-realization, dear devotees. Vijayate, in this way is victorious. Ramayana Swastaru, the glorious desire tree of Sri Ramayana. Can you read the translation level for me?
The supreme absolute truth is its spotless seed. Its transcendental, expansive trunk is equipped with 7 major roots, 7 episodes, that have grown from the devotional soil base of the sage Valmiki. It has 500 branches, chapters, and 24,000 leaves, verses. The fruit that it bestows upon its readers is self-realization. This desire tree named Ramayana is thus ever victorious.
Dear devotees, how many verses are there in Ramayana? The Gayatri mantra also has 24 syllables. And the commentator has pointed out that at the beginning of every 1000th syllable is the letter of the Gayatri. I hope you are able to understand. So if you calculate syllable 1, syllable 1001, syllable 2001, syllable 3001. The commentator has pointed out that you will get the original Gayatri mantra, which is the root of all the Vedas. In this way, Sri Ramayan contains the entire Gayatri within itself. In the 24,000 verses, there are 24 syllables of Gayatri embedded within the Sri Ramayana itself. Dear devotees, Ramayana cannot be complete without the main characters of Ramayana. Let's glorify the main characters of Ramayana. Can we see all the main characters of Ramayana present here on the screen? Yes. Let's glorify the main characters of Ramayana. Let's first glorify the heart of Sri Ramayana, Shri Ram. Please repeat after me. Ramam Ramanujam Sita
Ramanujam Sita
Bharatam Bharatanujam
Bharatam Bharatanujam
Sugrivam Vayusurum Cha
Sugrivam Vayusuram Cha
Pranamami Punah Punah.
Pranamami Punah Punah.
Devotees, let's invoke these deities within our heart. Ramam. Who is Ramam? Lord Rama himself. Rama Anujam. Who is Lakshman, the younger brother of Ram. Sitam and Sita Devi. Bharatam, Shri Bharat. Bharat Anujam, Shatrughna. Sugrivam and Vayu Sonu, and the great son of Vayu. Who is he? Pranamami, I offer obeisances to them. Punah Punah. I offer repeated obeisances to Ram, to his younger brother Lakshman, to Sita, Bharat, Shatrughna, Sugriva and Hanuman. This is from the Tilak commentary, just the introduction to Sri Ramayana. But most importantly, we should glorify Ram Dut, because it is because of Sri Ram Dut. Who is Sri Ram Dut? That we have this entire pastime of Sri Ramayana. Actually, the greatest character in Ramayana is Sri Ram Dut. Goshpadikritavaarisham Mashakikritarākṣasam Ramayana Mahamala Ratnam Vande Nilatmajam. Ramayana Mahamala. Ramayana is like a great necklace, and it is the Ratnam, the central jewel of this necklace is who? Anil Atmaja. Is the son of Vayu. Who is he? Hanuman. Actually, he is the main jewel of the necklace of Sri Ramayana. Why? Goshpadi Krita Varisham. Varisha. The lord of all the rivers is the ocean. But through his strength, he turned it into a small hoofprint of a calf. Who was that? Hanuman. Mashaki Krita Rakshasam. And all the Rakshasas, Asuras, were turned into simple mosquitoes by this one person. Who was that? Shri Hanuman. So dear devotees, this is the personality who created the most adventure, who brought all the fun in Sri Ramayana. Everybody else was crying. Sri Ram was crying. Sita was crying. Sugriva was crying because he didn't have his kingdom. Bali was crying because he lost his kingdom. Everybody was crying. But one person kept everybody entertained and laughing forever. Who is that? Shri Hanuman. Shri Hanuman ki jai. Please read the translation.
He turned the ocean into a mere hoofprint of a calf. He turned all great demons into mere mosquitoes. I glorify Hanuman, the son of Vayu, for he is the central gem in the great necklace named Ramayana.
Yeah. Dear devotees, Ramayana also teaches us the value of having Shraddha, the value of having faith in Sri Ramayana. Shraddha is very important, dear devotees. It is very important to have Shraddha, and we should learn Shraddha from Shri Hanuman. From whom should we learn Shraddha? Shri Hanuman. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse which describes how to take shelter of a Guru. Does anybody know which verse that is? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshyanti te jnanam jnaninas sarvadarshinam. Tadvidhi pranipatena. First, what should one perform to the Guru? Obeisances. Next, one should ask what? Pariprashnena. One should ask questions. And after that, one should render what? Seva, service. Dear devotees, this verse is personified in whose character? In the character of Sri Hanuman. When he first met his Lord, when Lord Ram was climbing the mountain looking for Sugriv, Hanuman was sent as the messenger. He disguised himself. First and foremost, Sri Hanuman did Pranam. Then he asked questions, Pariprashna, who are you? And when he came to understand that this is the Lord of my life, then immediately Seva. That Seva, till the entire Ramayana ends, he performed. So the ideal disciple in Sri Ramayan is exemplified by one personality. And who is that? Sri Hanuman. Dear devotees, Hanuman also shows the value of having Shraddha or having immense faith in the Shastra. When Hanuman went to Ashok Vatika, when Hanuman went to the kingdom of Ravan, he immediately thrashed all the servants of Ravan and broke many trees in the Ashok Vatika. Then Ravan sent many people to capture him, and Hanuman killed many of them. Finally, Indrajit, Meghnad came to capture Hanuman. And Indrajit also tried many things. Finally, Indrajit said, there is no way I can conquer this monkey. I will use my best weapon in my arsenal. And he used Brahmastra. And he shot the Brahmastra at Sri Hanuman. And when Sri Hanuman saw Brahmastra coming towards him, Sri Hanuman agreed to be bound up by the Brahmastra. Can you see the value of Shraddha? The faith that Sri Hanuman has. He knew that Lord Brahma will not cause any inconvenience to me because I am serving the mission of which Lord? Lord Rama. That same Hanuman, when he was brought in front of Ravan, Ravan thought, this is very strong monkey actually. And the Brahmastra looked like ordinary rope. So he said, why have you tied this strong monkey using ordinary ropes? Bring some nice iron shackles to bound him. So they bought iron shackles to bind Sri Hanuman. Seeing that, Brahmastra thought these people have no faith in my potency actually. So the Brahmastra loosened itself. And then could Hanuman be bound by those iron shackles, dear devotees? It was not possible. Hanuman broke all the iron shackles and set entire Lanka to fire. So this, dear devotees, is a very important lesson of having Shraddha in Shastra, Guru and Sadhus. Dear devotees, Ramayana is not possible unless Shri Valmiki is also glorified. So dear devotees, let's glorify Shri Valmiki. Valmiki Giri Sambhuta Ramambo Nisangata Srimad Ramayani Ganga Punatu Bhuvanatrayam. Dear devotees, very important verse and a very nice verse. Let's sing this verse one more. Valmiki Giri Sambhuta Ramambo Nidhi Sangata Srimad Ramayani Ganga Punatu Bhuvanatrayam. Valmiki Giri Sambhuta. There is a river which arises from the Giri. What does Giri mean? Mountain. From the mountain named whom? Valmiki. There is a river which starts flowing from the mountain named Shri Valmiki. Rama Ambho Nidhi Sangata. And this river ends up in the ocean named Sri Ram. Which river is that? Srimad Ramayani Ganga. Punatu Bhuvanatrayam. Ganga only purifies the planet Earth. But the entire three worlds, including the lower planets everywhere, is purified by which Ganga? Sri Ramayana. Dear devotees, Valmiki Giri. What is the meaning of Giri?
Mountain.
Giri has another meaning. Giri also means voice, speech. The river has arisen from the speech of Sri Valmiki. The devotees, having arisen from Valmiki Giri, the mountain named Valmiki or the speech of Valmiki, it finally ends up in the ocean named Ram. Indeed, this Ganga-like Ramayana ends up purifying the three worlds. Dear devotees, I also wanted to highlight why Sri Ramayana is important. It is specified in Shastra that Krishna appears not in one body, but Krishna appears in how many bodies?
Two.
Two. What are the two bodies that Krishna appears in?
One is the son of Nanda and the other one is the son of Vasudeva.
Yes, the son of Nanda and son of Vasudeva. Yes, that is Krishna Lila. I am saying, as a principle, the Supreme Lord, along with all his incarnations, appears in two forms. Dear devotees, these two forms are very important for us to understand. Please repeat after me. The first form is called as Param Brahma. Param Brahma means the Supreme Lord having taken a form. Okay, the Supreme Lord in all his forms, Krishna, Ram, etc. The second form is called as, please repeat, Shabda Brahma, or the various words that describe him. The Srimad Bhagavatam says something. Please repeat after me. Shabda Brahma Param Brahma.
Shabda Brahma Param Brahma.
Mamobhe Shashwati Tanu.
Mamobhe Shashwati Tanu.
Mama, my, two. Ubhe Shashwati Tanu. Eternal bodies are present. What are the names of my two eternal bodies? Shabda Brahma and Param Brahma. This is the translation. Shabda Brahma, Vedic literature, and Para Brahma, transcendental bodily forms, are my two eternal forms. Dear devotees, do you see the wonderful form of Lord Krishna there on the altar? Yes. That is which Brahma? Shabda Brahma or Param Brahma?
Param Brahma.
And the words of Srimad Bhagavatam are which Brahma? I hope you are able to. These are the two eternal forms with which the Supreme Lord appears in this world. Question arises. Which Brahma is more merciful? Shabda Brahma or Param Brahma? Shabda Brahma is more merciful. In Kali Yuga, which Brahma came to rescue us? Param Brahma or Shabda Brahma? Somebody knocked on our door and said, please take a Prabhupada book. Which Brahma arrived at your door?
Shabda.
Or did Lord Krishna himself knock on your door? So, what is more important, what is more merciful in Kali Yuga is which Brahma? Shabda Brahma. But they have a relationship between each other. These two Brahmas are not distinct. They have a very important relationship between each other. See, Param Brahma and Shabda Brahma, these two Brahmas are present, eternally present, but they have a relationship between each other. The Para Brahma, the Supreme Lord, is known as, please repeat after me, Vachya. Vachya. What does Vachya mean? Denoted. And Shabda Brahma is known as what? Vachaka. What does Vachaka means?
Denoted.
Very simply, I will explain. For example, Prabhuji, what is your name?
My name is Gopa Bhav.
Huh?
Gopa Bhav.
Gopa
Bhav.
Bahu. Gopa Bahu.
Gopa Bhav.
Gopa Bhav. Gopa Bhav Prabhu. So Gopa Bhav Prabhu is his name. Suppose I write his name Gopa Bhav Prabhu on a piece of paper. Is this name which I have written on the piece of paper same as you, Prabhu? No. This is the Vachaka. What is this? This is the Vachaka, denoter. And you are the Vachya. You are the denoted. I hope you are able to understand. So the name is the Vachaka, denoter, and the entity denoted by the name is called as Vachya, denoted. For all of us, Vachya and Vachaka are two different entities. Only for one entity, both of these are the same. And which entity is that? Shri Krishna or any form of Bhagwan. The Vachya and Vachaka are non-different from each other. I hope you are able to understand. Now, our Acharya Srila Baldev Vidya Bhushan says, not only is this similarity, there is more similarity between Vachaka and Vachya. What are the other similarities? Please repeat after me. Matsya Kurmadi Bhirupair Yatha Vachyo Bahurbhave Vachakopi Tathargadi Bhavat Bahurudiryate. Everybody understands what is Vachaka, what is Vachya. Okay. Vachaka means denoter. Okay. What does Vachaka mean?
Denoter.
The name. Vachya means denoted, the personality. Who is the original personality of Godhead? Krishna. So the original Vachya, the original denoted is Krishna. And what is the original Vachak, which is the original sound that denotes him? Om. Very nice. So Om is the original Vachaka and Krishna is the original Vachya. I hope everybody understands. Now, does Krishna take various incarnations in the world? Matsya, Kurma, etc.
Yes.
Similarly, the Vachaka also doesn't remain without taking incarnations. Matsya, Kurma, Dibhi, Rupair, taking various forms, like which forms? Matsya, Kurma, etc. Yatha Vachyo Bahurbhave, the denoted becomes many. Vachakopi, similarly the denoting sound, which is the original denoting sound,
Om.
also becomes Rig Adi, Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajur Ved, Atharva Ved, Puranas, as well as Ramayana. I hope you are able to understand. So there is parallel correspondence between Vachya and Vachaka. Actually, Ramayana is avatar of Shabda Brahma, Shri Ram. Just as Srimad Bhagavatam is avatar of Parabrahma Shri Krishna. So similarly, Ramayana is also avatar, Shabda Brahma avatar of the Parabrahma Shri Ram. This is the translation to it.
Just as the Vachya, the denoted Supreme Lord, takes on multiple forms, Matsya, Kurma, etc. Similarly, the Vachaka, the denoting Shabda Brahma, takes many forms, Rig Veda, Puranas, etc.
This includes Shri Ramayana, dear devotees. Actually, the Vedas themselves appeared as Ramayana. It is specified in the Ramayana itself. Please repeat after me. Veda Vedye Para Pumse
वेदवेद्ये परापुंसे
Jate Dasharathatmaje
जाते दशरथात्मजे
Vedah Prachet Sadasi
वेदः प्राचेत सादासि
Sakshad Ramayanatmana
साक्षात् रामायणात्मना
Pare Pumse. Is Lord Ram the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Yes or no?
Yes.
Veda Vedya, he is understood only through one literature. Which literature? Vedas. When Jate, when he appeared as whom? Dasharath Hatmaje, as the son of whom? Dasharath. If the Supreme Lord, who is understood only through the Vedas, appears as the son of Dasharath, if the Supreme Lord, who is understood only by the Vedas, appears, will the Vedas also not appear? In which form did Vedas appear?
Ramayana.
I hope you are able to understand. Vedah Pracheta Sadasi. Then from the son of Pracheta, Valmiki, Vedas also descended. Sakshad Ramayana Atmana in the form of this literature. Which literature? Sakshad Ramayana. This is the translation.
When the Supreme Personality denoted by the Vedas appeared as the son of Dasharath, the Vedas too appeared in the direct form of Ramayana from the mouth of Valmiki, the son of Pracheta.
Actually, Ramayana itself says Ramayanam Veda Samam. Ramayana is equal to the Vedas itself. Dear devotees, this Ramayana begins on a very negative note. Does it begin on a positive note or a negative note? Negative note. Does anybody know what was the negative note on which Ramayana began? Very nice. Mahasundari Mataji knows. Valmiki, once in his afternoon, he had gone to take a bath near his ashram. He was taking a bath. Suddenly he saw a nishad. What is a nishad? A nishad is a hunter. And a hunter, he saw that he was planning to shoot two krauncha. Krauncha means heron birds. So they are like cranes. Herons are similar to cranes. So these two krauncha birds, they were couple, dampati, husband and wife. And they were enjoying their time near the lake. And this nishad hunter shot an arrow at one of them and killed one of them. So the other one started crying loudly, wailing loudly. So Valmiki was so upset on seeing this, he was so unhappy on seeing this, that Valmiki, who never uttered a single incorrect word against anybody in his entire life, spontaneously ended up uttering a curse at that moment. This is the point at which the Ramayana begins. Dear devotees, can you see Valmiki cursing the hunter Nishad because he has killed a krauncha bird? Yes. This is the curse This is one of the most, this is the seed of Ramayana. This is the seed verse from where Ramayana begins. Manishada pratishthatvam
Manishada pratishthatvam
Agamah shashvati sama
Agamah shashvati sama
Yat krauncha mithunadekam
Yakrauncha mithunadekam
Avadhi kama mohitam
Avadhi kama mohitam
Nishad, O Nishad, Ma pratishthatvam agamaha. May you never become famous, may you never attain any good fame or fortune. Shashvati samaha, for the long years of infinity. For the long year, for all years of infinity, may you never attain any fame. May you always be infamous. Why? Yat, because krauncha mithunad, because from the two kraunchas, ekam avadhi, you killed how many? One. And he was kama mohitam, he was in love with his wife. Okay, so you killed a krauncha bird like this. Dear devotees, when Valmiki uttered that curse, the Nishad folded his hands, begged for forgiveness and went back. Valmiki came back to his ashram. Valmiki was very sad because for the first time Valmiki felt a little guilt that I have uttered a curse when I should not have uttered a curse. At that time Lord Brahma came and said, please don't worry Valmiki, what you spoke was very important. Dear devotees, this was the first verse in the history of mankind. The first verse in the history of mankind is this. Ma nishad pratishthatvam agamah shashvati sama yat krauncha mithunadekam avadhi kama mohitam. Brahma said, from you, people will now start composing verses. So in Treta Yuga, people started composing verses after Valmiki first and foremost composed this verse. The first verse is a curse, dear devotees. Does it sound good? Please read the translation, Prabhuji.
O Nishad, may you never attain any stable peace for the long years of eternity, for you killed one of two krauncha birds that were overcome with the desire to mate.
So Valmiki said, this is what I said. But dear devotees, Shri Brahma made another meaning visible in his heart. And Shri Brahma told him, this is the seed of Ramayana. Ma also refers to Lakshmi, dear devotees. Ma refers to what? Lakshmi. Madhava, the husband of Ma. Ma refers to whom? Lakshmi. Ma Nishada, oh, husband of Lakshmi. Who is husband of Lakshmi? Husband of Sita? Sri Rama. Pratishthatvam agamaha, may you attain good fame. Shashvati samaha, for long years of eternity. Yet, because Krauncha Mithunat, Krauncha also refers to a demon. So from the couple, demon couple, Ravan and Mandodari, Ekam Avadhi, you killed one. Whom did you kill? Ravan. Kama Mohitam, who was overcome by lust. So in this way, Valmiki's Vani, Valmiki's voice never failed. Actually, this was the interpretation that Shri Brahma took. And this is the reason why today Lord Ram's fame is never ending. As long as the sun and moon exist in the sky, there will be Shri Ramayana Katha. This was the second meaning, Prabhuji. Please read.
O Ma Nishad, Lakshmi's shelter, may you attain stable prestige for the long years of eternity, for you killed one of the two krauncha, demons, named Ravana, who was overcome with lust.
Dear devotees, just as Shri Vyasadeva got perfected vision before he composed which literature? Srimad Bhagavatam. How did he get perfected vision? By the blessings of his spiritual master. Who was his spiritual master? But who is Narad's spiritual master? Brahma. Brahma also gifted perfected vision to Shri Valmiki and told him to compose Sri Ramayan. Brahma said to Valmiki, Rahasyam cha prakasham cha
Rahasyam cha prakasham cha
Yadvrittam tasya dhimatah
Yadvritam tasya dhimatah
Tachapya viditam sarvam
Tachapya viditam sarvam
Viditam te bhavishyati
Viditam te bhavishyati
Rahasyam cha, whatever is secret. Prakasham cha, whatever is known. Yadvrittam, and whatever is the character. Tasya dhimatah, of that most intelligent Ram. Tachapi aviditam sarvam viditam, and whatever is not known will become known. Te bhavishyati, I bless you. Valmiki, write Sri Ramayana. And this is the translation. Whatever pastimes and characteristics of Ram, Sita, etc. are confidential or general in nature, they will all become known to you. This was a boon by none other than whom? Sri Rama. To whom? Sri Valmiki. There is also one similarity between Valmiki and Vyasadeva. Do you know what is another similarity between Valmiki and Vyasadeva? Both of them had personally met the Supreme Lord that they were describing. Vyasa had personally met Shri Krishna, and Valmiki had also met Shri Ram. So both sages had already met their respective lords already, dear devotees. In the Ramayana, there are many messages, but there are 6 ways of understanding what is the most important message of Ramayana. The Acharyas say there are 6 ways of understanding any literature. So, I will conclude with 1 or 2 verses. Please give your close attention. How to understand the main message of Ramayana? The Acharyas say take any literature, there are 6 ways of understanding its message. Please repeat after me. Upakramopasamhara Abhyaso purvata phalam Arthavadopapatti cha Lingam tatparya nirnaye Upakrama, what is given at the beginning of literature. Upasamhar, what is given at the end of literature. Abhyaso, what is repeated in the literature. The 3 things, what is given in the beginning, what is given at the end, what is repeated in the literature. Apurvata phalam, what is the unique fruit that you get by reading this literature that you don't get anywhere else. Arthavad, who is specially glorified in the literature. And Upapatti, and whom does the author want to project. These 6 are the ways of understanding any literature. Upakrama, the Ramayana begins with Bhakti, dear devotees. The Ramayana begins with what? Bhakti. Because it describes Bhakti of Shri Valmiki towards his Guru Brahma. The Ramayana also ends at what? Bhakti. Because all the denizens of Ayodhya end up attaining the which world? Spiritual world. Abhyaso, repeatedly in Ramayana, Hanuman describes which factor? Bhakti. Apurvata phalam. And what is the unprecedented fruit which was promised by Tilak in the beginning of his commentary? That you will get bhakti, you will get self-realization. Arthavad. What is especially glorified in Ramayana? Who is the most glorified personality in Sri Ramayana? Hanuman. And he is the embodiment of what? Bhakti. Upapatti cha. And the purpose of Valmiki is also to promote bhakti. Lingam tatparya nirnaya. Through all 6 ways, the Ramayana is promoting only one thing. And what is that? Bhakti. Dear devotees, I will end with a very nice verse towards Lord Ram. Dear devotees, may Lord Ram ensure good fortune for all of you, but this is a very nice verse. Do you see Lord Ram doing something? What is Lord Ram doing? Shooting Ram. Where did Shri Ram shoot an arrow? Did Shri Ram shoot an arrow at the heart of Shri Raman? In the navel of Shri Nabi. So this verse celebrates that pastime. Yo Ramo na jagana vakshasi rane tam ravanam sayakair.
Yo Ramo na jagana vakshasi rane tam ravanam sayakair.
हृद्यस्य प्रतिवासनं वसति सा तस्याह्यहं राघव
हृद्यस्य प्रतिवासनं वसति सा तस्याह्यहं राघव
मय्यास्ते भुवनावली परिवृता द्वीपै समं सप्तभिः
मय्यास्ते भुवनावली परिवृता द्वीपै समं सप्तभिः
सश्रेयो विदधतु नस्त्रिभुवना त्राणैक चिन्तापरा
सश्रेयो विदधतु नस्त्रिभुवना त्राणैक चिन्तापरा.
Yo Ramona Jagana Vakshasi. He did not shoot an arrow at the chest. Rane, in the battlefield. Why? Tam Ravanam Sayakai. Ravan was standing in front of him, but he did not shoot an arrow at the chest. Why? He was thinking, dear devotees. Ridhi Asya Prativasanam. In the heart of Ravan there is someone, always. Who is that? Sita. He is always thinking about whom? Sita. Tasya hyaham. And in the heart of Sita is whom? Raghava. And within me, Mai Aste, Bhuvanavali, all the three worlds are there. Parivrita Dvipai Sama, with the 7 islands of this earth. So if I destroy Ravan's heart, what will be destroyed? The entire universe. Sashreyo Vidadhatu. May that Ram, who was eager to protect all the three worlds, including all of us, bestow good fortune on all of you, dear devotees, today. This is the translation.
In his heart always resides Sita, and within the heart of Sita is myself, Ram. And within me is the entire universe, along with the earth and its 7 continents. Thinking like this, Lord Ram, who always cares for the welfare of the 3 worlds, did not shoot arrows at the chest of Ravana, but instead shot them at Ravana's navel. May that Lord Rama bestow good fortune on us all.
Dear devotees, I told you between Ram and Sri Rama's name, what is more powerful, what is greater, what is more powerful for all of us? Sri Ram or Sri Rama's name? Name. How do we know this? Because in this age of Kali, what has come to rescue us? Sri Rama's name. There is a very nice devotee poet. Maybe if we have, I don't know, how many sessions do we have more?
2 more sessions.
2 more sessions. We'll introduce a devotee poet. Dear devotees. There is one devotee poet coming. His name is Shri Suri. So he will prove certainly that Bhagwan's name is greater than heart. He is a bold commentator, not afraid of anything. He will speak his heart out. He is a commentator on Krishna Leela. And when Krishna kills Putana, and this Putana's body is lying, Krishna is on the top of Putana. All the gopis come there running and they see baby Krishna on the body of the dead Putana. All the gopis bring him down. Mother Yashoda is concerned about Krishna's health, whether Krishna is hurt or not. So Mother Yashoda, what she does is, she applies tilak for protection on 12 parts of body of Krishna. How do you apply tilak, Prabhuji? On the head, what do you say? Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Shri Harisuri says, stop here. Krishna, this itself proves that your name is greater than you. Because when it comes to protecting you, Mother Yashoda also uses your holy name. Do you want to hear more from this devotee poet?
Yeah.
So, very soon we will be having another session based on the teachings of Shri Harisuri. But I will also end with a very nice verse. Mahatmyam paramam tavaiva mahato he Rama namna kshitau.
Mahatmyam paramam tavaiva mahato he Rama namna kshitau.
Rakaram vadato janasya sakalam niryati papam hridaya.
Rakaram vadato janasya sakalam niryati papam hridaya.
Bhuyastad vishatiti rodhan vidha vaste makarastato.
Bhuyastad vishatiti rodhan vidha vaste makarastato.
Jivagre tav Ram nama vasatu Shri Rama bhrityasya me.
Jivagre tav Rama nama vasatu Shri Rama bhrityasya me.
Shri Hanuman is saying, Mahatmyam paramam tavaiva mahato. The greatest glories is your, hey Rama namnaha, oh name of Ram, Shritau on this earth. By Rakaram vadato, as soon as you utter the first syllable of Ram, what is that first syllable? Ram. Janasya sakalam, all of a person's papam, sins, niryati. Ra throws out or Ra takes it in. What does Ra do? When you utter Ram, do you feel a sensation of air coming out of your mouth or air going inside? Ra. All the sins go away. But then there is a fear of the sins entering again. So Hanuman says, but as soon as say ma requires you to close your mouth. Can you say ma without closing your mouth? No. So as soon as you say ma, so mouth closes, and it ensures that those sins don't enter again, dear devotees. Jivagre tava Rama nama vasatu. Therefore, Sri Hanuman says, may this name of Ram stay always on the tip of my tongue. Shri Rama Vrityasya, for I am known as a servant of Shri Rama.
O Rama, there is immense glory of your name in this world. As soon as one chants Ra, all the sins exit his heart. In order to prevent them from re-entering this body and heart, the syllable Ma immediately closes the mouth. May this name Ram stay always on the tip of the tongue of this servant, Shri Ram.
Yeah. So dear devotees, one last verse and we'll end. Ramatvattodikam nama
Ramatvattodikam nama
Iti manyamahe vayam
Iti manyamahe vayam
Vayaikatarito yodhya
Vayaikatarito yodhya
Namna tu bhuvanatrayam
Namna tu bhuvanatrayam
Ramatvattodikam, greater than you. Nama iti manyamahe, I consider your name is greater. Why? Vayaikatarito ayodhya, you delivered only what?
Ayodhya.
Namna tu, but your name delivered Bhuvanatrayam, all the three worlds in the universe. Oh Ram, we consider your name to be greater than your own self. You only managed to deliver everyone in Ayodhya, whereas your name delivered everyone in all the three worlds. Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Thank you very much, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Hari Prashad Prabhu, for such a beautiful deep dive into the glories of Ramayana, all the characters of Ramayana, and the glories of Valmiki Devi. Let's do another round of applause. Well, Prabhu was speaking, I was thinking of another verse that actually talks about the glories of the name of Lord Ram, and I'm sure a lot of everyone here knows that verse. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manohar Sahasra Nama Tatulyam Rama Nama Rama. So thank you, Prabhu. That also glorifies the chanting of name of Lord Ram 3 times in the entire Vishnu Sahasra now is covered. So thank you so much for stressing the name of Lord Ram here, Prabhu. A few announcements before we get to the next part of the program. Welcome everyone to our temple here at ISKCON of Round Rock. How many of you are here for the first time? Haribol, let's loudly chant a Mahamantra to welcome all of our guests here.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So just to give a bit of history or as synopsis of the temple, we actually normally don't meet here anymore and haven't met in the last 2 years. Our main temple hall is, if you can see through the window, is in that shed right in the back. We are currently in phase 1 of renovation of that beautiful shed on this gorgeous 2.5 acre lot to build our temple hall. If any of you would be interested in taking a look at what we're doing there, you could reach out to Ramajay Prabhu. I don't see like Madhvi here. Sakshi Gauranga Prabhu, where are you? Somewhere? Okay, I don't see him. He's somewhere, probably getting ready. If you have any questions, you can look for any of us. We'll be happy to take you behind, show you the temple property. If you'd like to volunteer anyway for any of your services or financially, please speak with us. This is a huge project and it is about building a legacy here. Haripasha Prabhu spoke so much about the importance of the name, and we're hoping that building a temple right here in Round Rock helps us spread the names of Lord Ram and Krishna far and wide right here from this place and makes this place a tirtha. So please make sure to come and check that out. The beautiful thing about Ram Navami is that it is it's almost like a hidden festival. I feel like a lot of people don't know. Everyone knows Diwali, now everyone knows Holi, but not everyone knows about Ram Navami. And the nice thing is this is celebrated all the way across India, whether it is by the reading of Ramcharitmanas that happens in northern India, or the Sitaram Kalyanam that takes place in southern India, particularly in Andhra Pradesh. And this is such a wonderful festival to celebrate, and we're so happy we get to celebrate with all of you today on Ram Navami. If you enjoyed, it's actually not, I'm sure we all enjoyed Hari Parshad Prabhu's wonderful class today. We have 2 more sessions as we announced. Tomorrow's session is a morning session. It is from 8 to 9 a.m. and it is going to be in the house of Ramajay Prabhu. It's here in Round Rock in Walshrange at Aquamarine Drive, 3632 Aquamarine Drive. If you'd like to come to listen more, because what Prabhu did today when he spoke about Harishuri was, Prabhu was, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. It's like when you see a little bit of ice on top of the iceberg, it was that. It's not even the tip. Because I think we'll only get to the tip in this trip. So there's so much to learn about the nectar of Lord Krishna. So please do come for the class. Tuesday is the auspicious day of Ekadashi, and we will be having a program here. Ekadashi is a day that is an opportunity for us to get together to talk more about the Lord. So that is Tuesday evening program from 6:30 to 8:30. We will also be celebrating something called Vyasa Puja that day, which is the appearance day of one of the spiritual masters here in ISKCON called His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. So that's a part of our celebration on Tuesday, the Ekadashi, and Hari Parshad Prabhu will be speaking. So please do join us for those celebrations. If you're not part of our WhatsApp group, please speak with Haridas Rai Prabhu, right there. You speak with Haridas Rai Prabhu. Prabhu wearing, I forgot, I do the kurtas here. Prabhu wearing the orange kurta. No other orange kurtas, very good. The one person wearing an orange kurta, go to him and he can give you more information about joining our WhatsApp group, and we can provide more information that way. So we have programs on Monday and Tuesday. Please RSVP on our website, roundrockiskan.com, and you will find more information on that. Again, we're so grateful, Hari Parshad Prabhu, Vasamati Mataji, and Little Hari for joining us here in ISKCON of Round Rock. And next part of the program is there'll be Aarti. One important announcement. After Aarti, that's normally for those of us who are experts here, who've come here for many times. What do we do right after Aarti? Prasada. But today we're going to do one activity between Aarti and Prasada. We're going to take a group photograph with Prabhu. Now, if you ever try to take a group photograph with more than 10 people, you know it's a project, right? So to minimize project planning, a group photograph, because I'm a project planner by profession, to minimize project planning a group photograph, we highly encourage you all to please stay back after Aarti, and within 5 minutes, let's get the group picture so we can all honor Prashadam. So right after Aarti, if you'd like, is that okay, Prabhu? Sorry, I didn't even ask, we're just assuming. Okay, thank you, sorry. So we'll take a picture right after Aarti before Prashadam. We'd like to thank all of you for coming. We're so grateful that you all could join us in our celebration. We hope next Ram Navami, we hope and by the mercy of Shri Ram, Shri Garnita, Shri Radha Shamsundar, next Ram Navami we will be celebrating in our newly renovated hall right here. So we hope you all can join us. We'd like to thank all the devotees who made the wonderful prasadam, wonderful offerings today, these beautiful garlands, and we thank all of you for coming. So please rise, we will have Aarti right now. And then after Aarti, we'll do the group photograph and then Prashadam. So you can please stand up. If you've never been to an ISKCON temple, you know our Aartis dancing is highly encouraged. So if your spirit motivates you to dance, go for it. Hare Krishna.
How many minutes will be the approximately?
20 minutes, 25. And then we will just transition to the Shri first.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So dear devotees, let's thank Vesma Sundari Mataji for kindly organizing the entire event so nicely by loudly cheering Hari Bol 3 times.
Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prabhupada ki भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की श्रील प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे। श्री रामनवमी महामहोत्सव तिथि की